Let's see. Hopefully it starts going. Ah. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Hopefully y'all hear me. As people are joining, we'll give it a second. I think Jose should probably check on my phone to make sure that it is correct, but I will need the phone back. Let's see here. Hello. Hi, everyone who's joining. Please let me know down in the chat if you can hear me. Hopefully, yes. Hopefully you can hear me okay, because let's see here. Everything looks like it's going well. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and start running my mouth. So thanks everybody so much for joining today. If you're watching in the future, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching. I had to reschedule the original stream just because technical difficulties and all that sort of stuff. So thanks everybody for sticking with it and checking out this stream as it went live. I'm kind of excited because there's a lot to talk about. There's so many things that, oh, Jose's back. He's coming back with the phone. Thank you, Jose. Are we good? Everything look good? Perfect. Okay, so as the title of this live stream says, we're going to be talking about Me Made May, and we're also going to be talking about some of the things that I'm thinking about for spring sewing. I know the laptop's in the way. I promise there's a second camera so that you can see what's going on. Actually, we'll flip over so you can see. Cacao, there's stuff going on here. So we'll be actually making a mood board together later on in the streams. So actually I should probably get this thing on here. I don't know how that got in there. All right, anyway, so let's talk Me Made May. I'm kind of excited because this comes around every year, and I think I've addressed it before in like a previous video back in like the early days of the channel. And it's something that I like to see, but I always kind of have this like weird feeling around because I'm like, oh, I don't have enough me-made garments to really wear something every single day. So, you know, I think I'm going to take it a little bit differently this year. If you're participating in Me Made May, let me know down in the live chat section, because I'm really curious as to how you're approaching it. But actually, I'll hold off on sharing what I'm doing. But I'm really liking the different things that people are saying they're going to do this time around. I think that as this whole process has been going on, I think like 5 years, 6 years maybe, people have gone from like, I'm going to wear a me-made garment every day, or I'm going to do it a couple times a week, or I'm going to try and have one new garment a week, or I'm going to have one completed by the end of the month. So people are starting to like calibrate around what does it look like to have their own version of what Me Made May is going to be. I think, as I said at the very beginning, people were just like feeling like they had to show up in a specific way, but I think people have started to calibrate to what makes sense to them and makes sense for their lifestyle and that sort of thing. I think for me though, what I'll be doing is trying to work on one fiber art project a day. So I'm thinking like, if I'm doing any mending, or if I, you know, maybe wind up some yarn for a project, that'll be kind of how I approach Me Made May. I was debating doing like little mini reels rather than like trying to feel like I have to take a picture every day, because doing those sort of challenges is really not my jam. I'm actually really bad at doing the daily challenges. So figure out a way to make it fun, figure out a way to make it engaging and like something that I could be actively working on over the course of the month without feeling the pressure that I'd have to dress up every day. So yeah, so that's how I'm approaching Me Made May. But yeah, let me know down in the live chat if you're going to be working on it. For other things that are going on right now, and especially how they'll impact the channel, I'm working on a big project that'll be out at the end of May, potentially beginning of June. Specifically around creating a capsule for the spring and summer months. So that's kind of how we led up to this particular live and what I was thinking about it for it, because preview, I got rid of a bunch of stuff in my closet. And you'll hear more about that in a future video. But I got rid of a lot of stuff, and now I'm marinating in what do I want my future wardrobe to look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera so you can see some of the inspiration images that I'm thinking about for spring and summer. So let me go ahead and do that. Cool, it worked. All right, so you see my little Elmer's glue. We'll put that there so it doesn't roll all over the place. But I went ahead and did the Pinterest thing, and I got a bunch of images. Let's see if I can hold them up to the right camera. Bam. All right, hopefully you can see that okay. Basically went through and just started gathering all of the different things that are on my mind. Essentially lots of greens, lots of pinks, lots of whites, and that sort of thing. So obviously nothing like falling down the Pinterest rabbit hole and just gathering all those pretty colors. And TBH, I'm not sure why it is that these colors are really speaking to me right now. I feel like they're a little bit more happy than I normally like to wear. I mean, I wear a lot of blue. I wear a lot of like dark reds and maroons and these sort of things. So kind of going into the pinks, going into a lot of white. Actually, let me do this so you can see the rest. I feel like they were stacking up. You can see them well. But these sort of like greenery and really beautiful light colors are absolutely where I'm at. When Jose saw these printed out and like stacked up on my desk, he was just like, well, you're into flowers right now. So let me get another set of these. I have this shirtwaist here, which actually I think I found this photo on Etsy. It was actually really nice to kind of browse Etsy and see like from real vintage garments. This was one I actually made for the blog a long time ago. It's an Australian home journal image. So I have this pattern from when it was done for a challenge a few years back. Again, some tulips. And then these two actually are probably my favorite out of the whole stack of them. Specifically because they basically represent everything that I want to go for this time of year, right? So I'm thinking like not just the cactus, but like the flowers on the cactus, the greenery, the bright yellow flowers and these sort of things. And then the practical wear. I'm kind of going through this weird phase right now where it's like a lot of the, I'm not going to say like cutesy stuff, like not like cutesy stuff, but just like some of the frivolity of some of the clothes that I've made before for the channel or that I've worn before. Like I love them, but at the same time, I really want something that is super, super practical and super utilitarian. So that's kind of why this particular image stuck out to me so much, because it was a very simple, you know, knit top and then like a really nice pair of slacks. And while it's, as I said, simple, it feels so classic, and it feels like I could use it in a lot of different instances, which is why, as I said, it's been sticking out to me a lot more. But anyway, so what we'll be doing today in the live stream, besides chatting about Me Made May, if you're participating, is actually putting it on my mood board, essentially. So this is just a piece of cardboard that I got in this really bright, like fluorescent yellowish green, because I'll be pasting this up onto my corkboard here in the back. And I mean, it's practical, but I figure stick all this stuff on here, kind of talk about a little bit more of why I'm thinking about these things and getting to it. Anyway, let's look at this other camera, and hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. Let me know in the in the chat box if you can't. But let's see here. Actually, I should probably double check that the live stream is open for the chat. Okay, yeah, I think it should be fine. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and start doing the thing. All right, so I've got my regular scissors, my paper scissors. I've got my Elmer's glue. All right, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna try a button over here and see if this works. We're gonna click on. Ah, yes, it works. Okay, perfect. So hopefully you can see me as I'm working on this over here. Anyway, because these two are the ones that are sticking out to me the most, I'm going to go ahead and paste them down, or kind of put them here in the center and like frame everything else around here. I imagine that for a lot of these, I'll be cutting them out, layering them on top, and hopefully this Elmer's stick glue will work here, because I actually didn't test that. But if push comes to shove, we can use some tape. I think I've mentioned on my Instagram before that that I feel like 3M should sponsor me because of how much freaking tape I use. It's ridiculous. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cutting this out. Yeah, I don't know. And this particular image here, what really stuck out was not just that it was a shirtwaist dress, which obviously I adore and I love, and those are always so comfortable and like go-tos. I mean, I'm wearing one right now essentially, but I like that the plaid was so happy without being super in your face. Like it's definitely a statement piece, but it's not to the point to where it's distracting. Like it feels like something you can wear comfortably without feeling clownish, you know what I mean? So, all right, we'll go ahead and put this here for now. Do I want the bigger image? I'm not sure yet, but I will put it over there. All right, so let's grab this. Do I want to stack that there? Potentially. Actually, I have a couple of these here. I showed them a little bit earlier, but I kind of want to chat about them for a second. Gen Z likes making really beautiful collages. I find these a lot with like, what's the word they use? Oh, you know, this is how you access this aesthetic or whatever. So they create like these little, you know, collages, and, you know, obviously millennials make them too, but, you know, I feel like the best ones are coming from Gen Z. And so I just like the color story. I like, you know, how it kind of creates like an entire mood in the images themselves. So that's pretty cool. So I don't know if I want to have the whole thing on there, but maybe that's what this will look like. Maybe that'll be inspiration even just for how I lay things out. Let's see here. What do I like about this image? Well, I like the pose. The pose is beautiful. But do I want to cut her out, or do I want to... Yeah, I guess I could cut her out. Let's do that. Let's see here. Make sure not to cut off her hand. I think it's kind of this like Tarzan inspired sort of explorer look, which is really cute. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't know why the greens are speaking to me so much right now, because I really don't wear green. I don't think I have anything in my closet that's green, actually. So maybe it's like a nice opportunity to get like a green scarf or a hat or something, and or if I were to make something, just kind of have a pop of that color. Because that's the thing, like I don't want to make, like, say, cool, I'm inspired by things that are green right now, and end up not wearing anything that is in that color story, right? So it's like, even as I'm looking at the cactus and thinking, I'm probably gonna stick to more of like white and pink with tiny hints of green thrown in, and then obviously blues, because those tend to be also like a grounding neutral-ish color for me. So I don't know, I started to browse fabrics. I've started to look at potential things that I could be making with this sort of color story, and I'm definitely a little bit between like a rock and a hard place, because like I could go ham and just pick a bunch of green things, but like, is it practical enough for me to feel comfortable wearing? I think I'm gonna cut out this little drawing here as well. We're gonna do this number. Yeah, I think if you go on my website, I think you can still see this project up here. I don't think I ever took it down. It was challenging because it had buttons up the back of it, and they were all supposed to be bound buttonholes. Yeah, bound buttonholes, and I did not know what I was doing. Like, I did not yet know how how can I say, like how to do them properly. They were all crooked. They all looked weird. They all looked different. And it was, even in that project, I remember writing that I hope that the more I would do them, the easier it would get. And while it did get easier, they just weren't, I hadn't found my technique yet, and the fabric was super finicky. So it was a challenge. All right, let's see. I really like the chamomile flowers here in the book. Let's see here. It's very what's the one, like cottagecore or something. Let's cut this out. Okay, maybe it goes in the corner. See, this is the part about building mood boards. It's like you have all your inspiration images, but it's just like, how do you get them to fit in a way that looks good and that's cohesive and that makes sense? Maybe if this one goes in the corner. But I could also cut this out. But what is it about this image that I like? I like the whole botanical feeling about it, but I'm really loving the stained glass feeling. So I think I'm going to cut those out and then place them individually. So let's go ahead and do that number. I'm going to do this. And cut this way. That's it. Like, one of the things that I really like about doing mood boards overall is that you also have the opportunity to start to play with the shapes themselves, right? It's not just, oh, I want to get a bunch of images that I really like together on the same page. Like, yeah, that's great, but you could do that anywhere. But how do you creatively think about them, and do they trigger any additional like creative ideas, right? So if I have that there, maybe I overlap these. Maybe. Let's actually cut this out from the corner and give a little shape to this cactus. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I guess that could work, but then it takes over the chamomile. Let's see here. Yeah, it's this is actually one of my favorite things to do when I was still at college, and I'd have like notebooks dedicated to this. But it was always really nice because you'd see something different, you know, you'd see a shape or you'd see a specific detail in one of the images, or the way that the images overlapped, something else would stick out. And it always made it more interesting to reference those pages back in, you know, in the past. And then as you'd like work on projects, it was also almost like a photo, well, I mean, it was essentially a photo album, but it was a nice reference piece to say, oh, that's how I came up with that idea. All right, okay, I've cut out enough of that one. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get this there. That's kind of cool. Or down here. And then maybe, all right, I'm gonna paste these two together because I like they're shaped together. So this about, it's just a sleeve. All right, hopefully this works. I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with glue sticks overall. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this cactus arm. Okay. So hopefully you guys can kind of see that overlap there. Let's see what else. All right, so maybe here? No, we're just gonna continue to move this one around until I find a home for it. Maybe like this. Yeah. And I'm using these images, which is funny because my favorite one is still the one with the pants. But I'm sure we'll find a very prominent position. Oh, no, because I go this way? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we got y'all together. And let's see here, where can I put this pattern drawing as well? Maybe it just deserves to be on its own. Maybe it is its own main image. Yeah. I feel like that's very bold if I were to do it that way though. Let's maybe do here. Yeah, it's, you know, in looking for fabric for this already, it's definitely been a little bit challenging. I don't know. I feel like, especially right now in San Francisco, it's kind of hard to go find interesting and unique fabric. The place that I would have wanted to go recently would have been Stone Mountain and Daughter, but they're still closed for in-store shopping. So you can only buy stuff online. And while I have no problem buying fabric online, I do it all the time. It's also, I don't know. I mean, they're so close, and I think that that's what's frustrating to me, right? Like, it's one thing to order from Mood Fabrics or from, I don't know, any of these other places that do primarily online shopping, like, or a Minerva Fabrics or something. To be able to place that online order and to wait for it, it's okay for those places. But if it's literally right here, if it's a 20-minute drive for me, that's where I think I get a little bit more frustrated. Obviously nothing against the store or anything. It's with good reason, but I think that that's why I'm like so apprehensive about buying from them right now. And then Mood Fabrics is also, or Bright Text Fabrics is also kind of in this weird spot here in San Francisco where you have to make an appointment to go shopping there. And in having to make the appointment, you know, that also kind of, it's not like you can just walk in whenever you want. And that takes out a little bit of the fun. I think one of my good friends of mine wants to head out there soon, so I need to get my ducks in a row and figure out when we're gonna go. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna take out this white border. Okay. And what we do, does she look cool here? I think she could. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. It's coming together. The shapes of this, I think we'll probably be done in a little bit, so I'm not quite sure how long this stream will be. I am just going until I finish this, and if anybody who wants to join in and watch the stream can. Depending on how this goes, you know, if you guys enjoyed the video, I'm thinking about maybe doing these weekly, but in the short term, probably just monthly, because obviously we want to make sure that it's something that's entertaining to watch, or that, you know, good comms and stuff like that happen. Because I'm used to doing these on Instagram, but I thought I really should be making this content so people can continue to watch it, because on Instagram you can't really save it, really. Okay, all right, we're making some progress. So these are going to live over here. Okay, so this sort of thing is okay here. I don't know what happened to my, it kind of looks like a pair of underwear in a weird way. All right, how about we put that there and cut off these edges here. I'll do this. Okay. Do I want to go up? No, I think we want to go down. Oh, it almost completely covers that, which is great. When there's little opportunities like that for these things to like match up. Perfect. Okay. I'll give a little bit more glue here. And so this is a part about the glue sticks themselves, is that they might work like right now for this case, but then after a while the glue starts to deteriorate and it'll start to to come apart. Which, I mean, for the purposes of like this particular mood board and like when I put it up, and so we can kind of see where we're at in terms of progress. Actually, when I put it up, it'll be fine. But obviously, in like 2 years or something, it'll it may start to fall apart. So I don't know if this mood board will stick around with me for that long, but we'll see. Okay, we can put that back up in the corner, but we just paste it down. All right. So let's see here. Okay, let's see what we got. I'll paste that up there. Okay. Let's see if this thing is actually streaming. Okay. For a second, I was just like, oh no, is there a problem? And I think I taped that a little bit crooked or pasted it a little crooked, but you know what? It's tight. Okay. So this is feeling like this so far. Is there anything else from this image that is sticking out to me? I'm loving this kind of door here. Let's cut that out. Or this archway. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I can border things out of this. So I have this other one over here. Actually, I'll keep this. All right. I might have to kind of find a home for these. Oh, that's kind of nice actually. Maybe put this towards the top. No, and I'll cover the tulips. I like the tulips too much. I just like how freaking happy they are. They just feel like very natural. All right, so that's kind of where as things are shifting. Is there anything else I can take out of this? I'm not too sure. I'll put it here for now. Oh, this one. This one's fun. I really love the chair imagery. I love the lattice in the back. Obviously the palm, the feeling of like the leaves there is also extremely beautiful. I wonder what part of it I want to cut out though. I think what I'll do is I'll cut out this general shape with the lattice and then maybe put that in the background. It just kind of has its own like fresh botanical feeling, which is really cool. I'll just cut that there. Do I want to cut this chandelier? I'm kind of do this number. Where do I want to chop this down? Because it doesn't make sense with the lattice. Oh, there must be a right angle there. Okay. Okay. So we've got that lattice set up. All right. Where are we feeling like we can put this? Now, what's cool about cutting things out like this is that, you know, as I said earlier, you get to have a sense of, you can remove the items from their original home and start thinking about them in terms of shape and in terms of texture. So even, for example, if I were to cut this, let's say if I were to cut this here, and use that as something that's like sideways, right? You can start to divorce the shape of it in terms of where it is on the image versus like where do you want it on the mood board. And that way, you know, for example, just to throw something out there, like this was from here, right? We know that this is like stained glass. We know that it was originally from the top of this image, but like as I'm looking at it, it makes me think of like embroidery, and it makes me think of like a fabric that's really lacy. So it's like removing it from its original home, you can start to kind of think of and imagine. I was like, oh, well, am I going to want something a little bit more lacy with this sort of maybe like a green lace fabric that has a little bit more detail on it. Maybe it's like on the yoke of a dress or something, or maybe it's embroidery that I put on a collar of something that I make with a collar. So this is where it kind of gets a little bit fun with the shapes and starting to imagine what that shape actually would look like and how cool it would be in specific applications. But I'll go back to the mood board here. Let's see. Okay, we're putting that back because that. But I'm wondering, like this one here, what I'm continuing being drawn to is just the shape of the lattice, and at the end of the day, that's really all I want from this right now. So let's go ahead and do this, and we'll just chop it here. We can shape it around later. What if we do this number, and then maybe cut here. Maybe I'll do it right there, and then I have a little bit of a palm that's gonna stick with it, but Do we feel like it over here? Oh, that could be kind of cool. I don't know. It makes me think of like open weave fabrics or like linens. I mean, just the setting of where this photo was taken already kind of had that feeling of linens, but I think that the potentials for weaves is really what's sticking out here. I wonder if I do like a dark green linen something, like a, maybe not like a linen coat, but like maybe a linen pair of pants or something. Okay, I'm gonna stick those down so that they don't go anywhere crazy. All right, so we're gonna do this. Okay, so that one kind of went on top. Stuck to my finger. Okay. Pick this up a little bit. And this one. Okay. All right. I think we're moving and shaking here. Okay. All right, so we've got a little bit of this lattice shape going on here that kind of reminds me of linen. We've got, let's just stick this on over here and commit. We'll commit. Let's stick this down over there. Okay. Get a little of that corner so it doesn't go flying. Okay, so where were we? We have this one still floating around. Still has not found a home on this mood board yet. But I feel like as we're filling in a little bit of the background, it's starting to really come together really nicely. I think I'm going to cut off these white borders here because they're not going to be helpful for later. Oh shit. I just got off kind of part of the cactus. Oh no. Alright. We're going to trim here. That's pretty good. Let me go ahead. Okay. So, all right. Should we look at some of the other images that I have? So this one from Closet Historian, which is really pretty, but I don't know if it's going to go with the rest of the feeling, except for the sense of white. So what if I cut her out and we kind of use this bottom of the imagery? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this around here. I'm going to do this number.
Again, you know, kind of taking the floor, literally taking the floor out of the image, turning it upside down, and using it for something else. Because I still kind of want the feeling of like lightness to be represented. And, you know, I know that this particular collection of clothes that and fabrics that I buy that are based off of this mood board, I'm still going to want to have just like white garments. Like I want white blouses, and I want to make sure that that scent is still represented here. So, let's see, it was kind of like this. So let's stick it here. Hopefully that's enough. Maybe I need to put a little bit more. This side. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Should probably be stuck to the cactus. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. All right. So how are we feeling? This looks pretty good. Cut off this corner here as well. Okay. Feels pretty good right here. But like I still want to keep it floating in case any other ideas or ways to structure it on the mood board come up. All right, so we have only a few images left that we have not started to cut into or to add. I feel like this one is still floating around, and I like it because of this, like the continuous, like more stained glass. But I already have stained glass represented pretty at length here. So I don't know how much more I can add, and I feel like the details are starting to get a little bit more tiny, more minuscule, more, you know, like you're not gonna be able to see them when you're standing away from this. So I think I'm gonna let this go, but I'm also saying on this image here, like this glass here at the top. Ooh, I had no idea I'd picked out so many things that had glass in them that are really speaking to me. So let's go ahead and cut that shape out. I'm actually really surprised, and that's why this exercise is so valuable. Do I want this like this? Let's cut that. All right. What is this making me think of? This is making me think of like crinkly fabric, like a gauze or something. Not crinkly in terms of sound, but like just like the texture, you know. So like flowy gauze, or maybe like, I'm not gonna say like tunic tops, but these sort of things of like gauze tops. So let's go ahead and come here. Actually, hold on a second. My phone is popping off. One moment. Okay, cool, putting that away. So we're gonna go to, do you want to do here, or do we want to do over here? No. I think over here is probably good. Ooh, that gives it a mood. That gives it a feeling for sure. All right, so how about we take those? I keep saying tape, but we're not taping anything. All right. So let's stick that there. We're gonna do this number. Wait, oh no. For a second I thought I got it stuck to that. Okay, all right. Y'all, I think we're starting to like see the vision of what this is supposed to be. We don't have very many more images to put in like the backing. That's the one thing that makes me a little apprehensive, is that maybe I didn't print out enough. but we're gonna try and make do with what we have here. So we're gonna do this. Oops, get that out of there. Okay. All right, so we're gonna stick that together. Maybe over here. And I'll use some of this like yellowy color, like as a base, you know, like as an accent. All right, so we have these girls picnicking here. Very, very like sweet and romantic, but we're gonna cannibalize this image. I like this fabric here, this floral. I don't know if I'm gonna want to pick floral fabric this tight. I mean, even though my favorite decade is 40s and tight florals are a thing, I don't know if I'm feeling that right now, to be honest, for this season. But I just like the look of it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not so much for the sense of floral, but for the sense of tightness and lightness. You know what I mean? Okay, let's stick that there. We're gonna do this. Okay. Let's slide this a little bit. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's coming together. I think I don't know if we're done yet, but up here, I'm not quite sure. Is there anything else we want to candleize from here? No. Anything from here that we want? No, but the color story is beautiful, which is why I don't want to get rid of it. Do I want the gingham? I think I want the gingham. Jose's giving me the thumbs up. Alright, so we're just going to cut out this entire dress here. And it's like now just like it's just like a little rectangle, this little tiny gingham rectangle. Where do we want to put this? Here? I don't know. It's like a tiny little shape that like I don't want to toss, but like I also don't know where I want to put it, you know. Maybe this can be the connecting piece here. No. Maybe it should live on this side. I think yes, it kind of marries those two together in the corner. Figure this out. Not giving up, y'all. Okay. How about if we do it that way and then kind of layer this on top? Okay, that looks good, but we should cut her out. Let's see. We're going to... Wait. So this was kind of like this, I think so, like that, and then this here. Let's see how much leeway do I have there. Ugh, gosh, I don't like that yellow sticking out there. I think it's pretty stuck at this point. Actually, that'll probably work. Okay. think the one area of this mood board where it's still kind of bleh is like this here and probably here. That jagged edge or that sort of blunt edge is still kind of, it's too blunt. All right, let's stick this down though because there's no other place for it to be except for in that other corner. Ugh. Get it together, glue. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna stick this here. Okay. Oh, I'm really liking how this is looking. It's absolutely what's in my head right now. It is totally what's in my head right now. Okay. I think we're almost done now. Alright, let's get a little that action. Let's get a little that. Why is this not sticking all the way? Okay. Alright, final corner, y'all. We are almost done. Do I want this woman in this image? Yes, but I want to cut her out because I don't like this amount of blue, or this shade of blue. I don't know, for whatever reason. I mean, even though I'm literally wearing this shade of blue right now. Okay. Uh-oh, I started to cut her hat. It's not what I wanted. Can do this. Okay. All right. So we can put her here actually. That would be really nice. But I don't want to stick her down yet because I feel like we still need a little bit more something here. And this is where these ones start to make their reappearance. Did we want any more of these greens? No. Did we want this skirt fabric? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it sharply right up against the edge. And we're going to do a snip snip. And I'm gonna do this. I don't know, I'm like really want to make something with a plaid this season, but at the same time it'd be way like I don't want it to look clownish, you know? So like this sort of plaid would be perfect if I were to ever find like this like pinky like aqua sort of plaid. Would be really cool. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I have this. All right. Okay, that's not exactly the. I taped it, or I stuck it together a little funky. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Okay. Let's get these stuck together now. Okay. All right, we still have these two big areas. Do we want to stick anything there? I'm kind of starting to run out of stuff I can cut that I would want to put. I have a bunch of this glue stuck to my fingers. Anything else? I feel like this shape of this archway with the plants behind is really interesting. I wonder if those are actually plants or wallpaper. It kind of looks like wallpaper. Let's see, we might not be able to use this, but we're gonna find out soon enough. Actually, I feel like I can go in both places, but I'm going to stick it down here just to create a base, and then I can actually probably stick some stuff in here later. Like, oh, maybe there's just enough space to like stick some swatches on here as I get my fabrics ordered and purchased. So we're going to do cotton over here. All right. I think with this, we're probably going to be done. Okay, what a journey. All right. Get these out of the way. Ah, shit. Okay, let's talk about it. All right, y'all. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm actually really happy with this. So we have our completed mood board. I don't know. Do I want to put text on there? I'm not sure. Do I want to put swatches on here? Probably yes. Probably definitely actually. So yeah, you can kind of see where my mind goes as I'm like designing the mood board. But let me go ahead and hold this up to the second camera so you can see it a little bit more up close and personal. All right, so let's do this number. So this is where we ended up. What stands out? Besides some of the stuff that we've already talked about, you know, obviously like the feeling of like lace and the feeling of embroidery here. Ugh, I don't like this open. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. Maybe there'll be a slight change to this later. But anyway, a little bit of embroidery, a little bit of lace, a little bit of like, I don't know, not fishnet, but you know, something a little bit more see-through comes to mind there. I love the texture of these leaves here, or this leaves wallpaper. The amount of flowers, and not just flowers, but like straight up like blossoms, right? So just the sense of like, for example, in this tulips, you can kind of see that there's this feeling of movement and this feeling of like the wind going over the bunches of tulips. I love that there's a feeling of heat with the cactus flowers and things like this. Like it's like, oh, we are suddenly bursting into bloom, which is pretty cool. We have some chamomile there in the top, the tulips, and like the flower crown, which I think is really beautiful. Then this texture here that reminds me of linens. It reminds me of like open weave fabrics. Same thing with like these were originally what the top of a of this gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like glass of like a place to grow plants and stuff like this. Same thing here, that we have the stained glass or like cut glass feeling as well. So I don't know, like those kind of remind me of chiffon. It reminds me of gauzy fabric that has these sort of crinkly lines through it with a lot of texture. And then you can kind of also see where my mind is going in terms of, you know, looks, right? So shirt, dresses, and then very practical blouses or knit tops or knitted tops with like a really simple trouser. I'm neither here nor there about like the gingham trouser. I feel like, I mean, it's very practical, which is fine, but just wide leg trousers, and not super wide because I'm kind of a shorty, but you know, a nice comfortable trouser would be really nice. And honestly, if I could wear this every day right now, like I'm totally fine with it. Between like a bunch of this and then like a couple shirt dresses, and I think I would probably be set for the rest of spring and into summer. What else sticks out to me? Yes, the greens, but it's like this muted sort of pistachio-y green, cactus green, not like a forest green, really, not really like not like a jade green, but more like that muted, like mustardy pistachio with like a little bit of like Dijon yellow mixed into it. Khaki, I guess, maybe like as a neutral, but not necessarily, because that would be a color of fabric that I would want to buy a lot of, but just enough to ground things really well. A little bit of white, so we have like some chamomiles here, then the tulips, and then kind of this concrete. And the windows. I think that having
white pieces will probably be a really good good thing for me, especially with blouses, especially for work. And pink, but not like in your face pink, but like a subtle pink, a soft pink. So yeah, this is a mood board. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'll take some pictures of this and post it on my Instagram, so y'all can take a better look at it once it's ready and actually up on the wall. But I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have made a mood board for anything that you're working on right now. Would love to see them. Definitely tag me on Instagram if you have posted any photos of it. I'm really looking forward to buying fabric based off of this, and what I think I'm gonna do is probably have this next to me as I'm browsing online stores to see, oh, can I find something in this color? Is it like this? Am I really picking something that's in the mood of what I had thought out? I think it's very easy to get carried away when you're online shopping and then not find something that's really what you actually want. And it's like, oh, that's just nice and cool. That's what I'm gonna go with. So that's always kind of something that I'm like trying to avoid right now. But anyway, we've been on stream for an hour, surprisingly. It went by really fast. I hope you liked it. So give it a like. I guess subscribe if you haven't already, but I imagine you probably have if you're watching this. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, everyone.